Hi Misfits. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to interview a prospective challenger client. We're going to call this Closing with Class. Actually, Andrea Crowder has a video on the Misfit website that you can watch. It's well worth it. It's about an hour. It also talks to you about how to recruit coaches. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is throughout this process, you're going to be peeling back layers of this person. You want to start out with building a relationship, and I know several other coaches in this process have talked about the key to any type of trust is building that relationship. So some ideas to talk about with people. There's several mnemonic devices. One is FORM, F-O-R-M. F is for family. You can talk about their family. People love to talk about themselves. Not sounding egotistical, but it's just something that's obviously very easy to talk about. O is occupation. R is recreation. And M is what your message is. The other thing that you want to do once you've been able to establish a friendship is building the bridges that go from just the common non-Beachbody topic to maybe getting into that the more vulnerable information. You can talk about their sign, S-I-G-N. S is for strengths, I is interest, G is for goals, and N is needs. So once you have this information, you're definitely going to find out a lot more about this person that'll help not only get rid of some of these objections, but you can also get to know them and speak to them on their level without sounding like you're just blanketing all of the information for every single person. They're definitely not a copy and paste, and I think they'll start to realize that once you have included some of that personal information that you guys have already gone through. So getting into the actual questions of the challenge interview. Now, I like to let my friends and people that I'm talking to know, hey, this is a short interview. I'm going to write this down. And it also makes you sound like you are important and this is something that you're doing for them. They're not just doing for you by signing up for a challenge pack. So the first question is, what piqued your interest about Beachbody? Maybe they liked a post that led you to having a conversation in the first place. Maybe they've mentioned something briefly or asked you a question about when you guys were exchanging conversation topics. Number two. What have you already done? What's worked and what's not worked? And so that's also going to help you determine which program is right for them. Now, you are not intercepting with any kinds of suggestions at this point. You are simply asking questions, listening for answers, writing them down. I like to write them down and keep them in my notebook. That way, if they do fall off the program or I don't hear from them, I can go back and see what some of their weaknesses were before or some of their strengths. And the strengths play into when you invite them to be a coach too. Number three, is nutrition a strength or a weakness? This is huge because obviously you are going to be able to curtail a menu to them or advice or certain recipes. I like to send out recipes that people have told me that that's their weakness, but I like to make it 21-day fix approved. And that way, again, you just prove that you're listening to them. Number four, if you struggle with cravings, if so, what kind? Again, that's kind of piggyback what number three was. Number five, what kinds of exercises do you enjoy? Listen. If they do not have a good solid knees or back, do not recommend T25. Give them something like plyo or others that might be like a martial arts, something that they can actually handle. Number six, do you have any injuries? This is really important. You're not a doctor, so if they have something that you're completely unsure if they are able to do this exercise program with their injuries, I would send all the information that you can about it and have them take it to the doctor and get that approval before they go ahead and move further with this. I've not had anybody with those issues, so I think you'll be okay, but just to have that base covered. Number seven, this one is really, you can get into some tears here. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? And of course, you can change any of the verbiage of any of these questions. That's just the basic idea of what you're asking. So what you're trying to get someone to understand or look at for you to hear is, do they not like their body? Do they not like their skin? And this is going to help you understand how to base short-term and long-term goals with them. Number 8, now it's an ideal situation. How do you see yourself? So see what their end result is, and then you guys can break it down. Number 8, or actually, yeah, that was 7A. Why is this a financial priority now? So this one's huge for 2 reasons. You're letting them know, A, it's not free, and B, you're going to overcome any objections for finances once you get that out of the way. So now it's time to close. Use their name repeatedly and the reason why. So that would be the ideal, going back to those questions. Offer a challenge group, let them know a date that you're starting, recommend a program. So you are going to be very specific. You know, Ashley, listening to what you've told me about, you really love cardio, you've never really done weights, but you do have a set sitting in your workout room. You definitely want to tone. I'm going to recommend the 21-day fix. Are you near a computer? And I would explain the Shakeology at that point, letting them know that that's going to help them with the cravings, being able to give them recipes that will support their program and the nutrition that it provides on top of that. You can also throw in some of the energy boost. I don't know a lot of people that can truly say, I have so much energy and I don't need anything for it. So listen to their needs, write it down again, because it's a lot to remember. And then finally, say, are you near a computer so I can walk you through enrollment? Don't let this become a situation that you are saying, oh, well, think about it for a day and then get back with me, because oftentimes people can talk themselves out of what they really need or want to do. And so at this point, believe in yourself, be the leader, do not squirm, and be sincere and transparent. We're not salespeople, we're here to build relationships and help change lives. Never argue with them. If they're trying to tell you no, well, whatever the argument may be, just don't argue with them. Be sincere about it. You know that you're a product of the product and the products do work. And use the feel, felt, and found method. Don't be disappointed with a no. No's are just often temporarily and they tend to come back. And then what you want to do is you can let them know that there are limited spots available and they have to earn this spot. And that's going to be making sure that they understand they have to post daily, they have to check in. The menus and that are there aren't just there for if you want to look at them. They're there to really help you set up a system that works. If you have questions, post below, but hopefully this will help you. Thanks.